Thanks a lot. Let's go over the agenda very quickly. First, I will be presenting why quality is important, especially on Airbnb, and why it is of big importance that you listen to what Samia has to say afterwards. Then Samia will introduce the Airbnb quality dashboard with a few slides, and she will then do a demo, and then obviously we will answer any questions. Talking about questions, how do you interact with our tool, with Crowdcast? So it's very easy. You have these buttons. You have the chat. That's the view where you are right now commenting. Then the second one will be the place to send a question. And the third one with the bar graph will be the one where you can answer polls, because there will be a poll right in the presentation. So without further ado, why quality is important on Airbnb and poll time. So I will read the question. You can go into the bar graph, the third icon. How frequently do you monitor trip issues and review tags across your listings? Do you do it after each reservation? Do you do it on a weekly basis? Or do you do it rarely, only occasionally? So once again, you have the option to answer a small question on Crowdcast on the third icon with the bar graph. All right. So we have 50%, 54% majority saying after each reservation. So you're already doing a great job. And we have the other half saying weekly basis, and some also saying rarely, only occasionally. Why we're asking this? Because today we're introducing a very practical way to check all these KPIs at one glance across all your listings, across all your accounts. We'll tell you everything about it. So hopefully you can implement this as a daily routine and be sure to be on top of any trip issue arising. So why quality is super important on Airbnb? Airbnb is becoming very selective as a platform. I think we all know that, and the business has been shifting all through the years. If you've been with our Christine, our invitee back in February, about how to start well into the 2026, we've presented numbers. And one of the very interesting KPI was that the budget segment is, for instance, struggling. And there was growth in the short-term rental business across Europe in more premium segment, in more qualitative segments, right? And so today in 2026, the situation in Airbnb is that there's more competition. The algorithm is going to punish you if you do not have a certain standard, if you do not have a review rate that is basically below 4.8. That's how selective it has gotten in the last few years. But also guests have changed. And as I said, budget segment is struggling a lot to see growth, whereas more premium segments see growth that are even surpassing GDP levels. And of course, the more qualitative you are, you will also be able to charge a little bit more and maybe see more margin per night. You will have a small but interesting boost you can have this boost in ADR, which obviously benefits you all. So quality is the growth lever. That is where you can have an impact today on Airbnb especially. So we ask you to check, obviously, your listing quality on Airbnb, try to optimize the pictures, optimize the descriptions, the text you can put, etc. Maybe change the picture order, see what works best, etc. Make sure that the pictures are up to date so that you're not also showing wrong information or not up to date information. One KPI that was given by Airbnb to us last year was that every 5-star review compounds, and a 5-star review in the whole platform gives an additional 4.6% of bookings. So Airbnb is rewarding you for every 5-star reviews that you get. So it's very important that you get them. On the other hand, trip issues will impact your bottom line almost immediately. So be sure to be on top of them, to respond to these guests, respond to the issue, solve it, because this can negatively impact your business. And with the Smoobu quality dashboard, you'll be able to monitor your performance, track it. Samia will teach you how to use it, how to make the best out of it. And we are making Smoobu the only one place to improve, monitor, act around your listing and impact your performance. So without further ado, Samia, can you present us the Airbnb quality dashboard?
Yes, thank you so much, Nicolas, for the introduction and the information you have given us before. So what we built in Smoobu is actually a dashboard for our hosts to understand their Airbnb performance without digging through multiple tools. So you, as host, will be able to directly see your overall account score or your listing score directly from the dashboard. And next to it, you will be directly able to check your key rating categories like check-in, communication, cleanliness, value, etc. So in Airbnb, there are 6 categories as you see. The goal is simple. In just few seconds, you can know where you stand and where you're losing points. But the real value actually is taking all your guest reviews and turn them into structured insights. So instead of reading dozens of reviews manually, you can quickly spot patterns like, I don't know, guests mentioning your cleanliness issues or slow communication, or the location is not precise, or there's friction during check in. And this is key because most hosts don't have a visibility problem, but they have a prioritization problem. So this helps you focus on what actually impacts your rating and not just guess. Just you have to know that understanding your current score is one thing, but what really matters is actually knowing if you're improving over. So from the dashboard, you can track things like your 5-star review rate, as Nicola mentioned, something that's super important for Airbnb, and your category quality over time. So if you fix something, for example, you fix your check-in instructions or you get a new cleaning institution to clean your house. So you will see, okay, did this actually improve my rating or not? So the point is you should not guess anymore, but you should directly go deep into each category and see how your performance evolves over time. And this is where it becomes operational. So in short, the dashboard is not just to show you data, but to help you take action and protect your listing. Because at the end of the day, better quality leads to better ranking. Better ranking leads to more bookings. And obviously, more bookings eventually means more revenue. So for now, we can just go to the product and do a demonstration. But I just want to mention one thing before we deep dive. The Airbnb quality dashboard for Smoobu hosts is only shown to those of you who have connected an Airbnb channel. Obviously, all of you here should be already connected your Airbnb account, but just in case someone is just curious and just wants to go and check and he or she has not their Airbnb connected, the dashboard will not appear to you.
Let's go to the demo. Thanks a lot for the small presentation, and make sure if you have any questions, the second option with the question mark, feel free to submit your questions and we will make sure to review them before the end of today's session. And if there's too many questions in the chat or in the question box, we will also answer them by email later on, as usual. So let's go to the demo. Samia, I give you the stage. Here you are.
So you can access the product directly from the Analytics tab under Airbnb Quality Dashboard. You have filter on an account level as well as on a property level. On top, you will have an overall view on the account status. What's your overall account? And then you will have your scores for each of the categories I mentioned before: check-in, communication, accuracy, value, location, and cleanliness. And note that all these are directly taken from Airbnb, the categories as well as their definitions. And we have written them precisely so you know what each category actually means as per Airbnb. And also on the right side, you can see that you will have an overall view on your 5-star review rate. What is this actually today compared to last week? As you move deeper into the dashboard, you will see more detailed view regarding trends over time from 5 stars review, which is on top. And then what you see directly now, the category trend, how your category is evolving over time, as well as detailed view on what users actually saw. So basically here, as you can see, Nicola, can you just pause a little, please? Maybe go back 1 second. I want to just take a moment to explain what we're seeing here. What we're seeing here are the 6 main categories. So in general, with each review, users write, obviously. So they write something. And Airbnb extract from the review what they mentioned as regarding category of accuracy, cleanliness, check-in, and so on. And then here you can have actual detailed feedback on what they said per each thing under each category. For example, you can see cleanliness. You have around 355 reviews, but 4% of these reviews mentioned that the listing is dirty or dusty. And if I see correctly, 3% mentioned that it has a noticeable smell. Why is this important? Because you do not guess, you will directly know what to focus on. So you can see in terms of percentages, from what is red is the negative thing, what to directly solve or what to directly jump into action. Obviously, there's the positive things, which is highlighted in green, but our main focus is to improve. So I would just recommend that people look into the red ones from the first side and then can take a general view. Okay, Nicola, we can continue. And then you move forward, you have more detail on the actual review that the users have written. Each review here has a lot of details that we can see together in a bit. Now, if, for example, you see on the pie chart that you have some of properties that are suspended. So here we can see when you hover, there's one property that is suspended. You can either filter on the property name because it shows on the pie chart, or you can check and use the filter and just filter on the status suspended. Here we had one property, so directly we will see the data on the property level. And you will have the same data as I saw before, as I showed before, but instead of an account level, it will be on the property level here. So it would have more detailed view on your actual listing. Same components as before. Everything is the same way of interpretation, but just knowing here that it's on the property that is filtered on. From the reviews table, we can filter on reviews that has issues. So if you want to directly jump into problems, you filter on it. And then when you click view details, you will have the actual details of the review. You have what your users reported. You can see private review, you can see public review that users wrote, and what things they mentioned in terms of tags, which are the things that are dirty or noise or like location is far. So these things that are predefined from Airbnb. Also, what's nice is on each review level, we can have the rating of each category. So you can just dig a bit deeper on each review. You can filter also on reviews less than 3 stars or reviews more than 4 stars. So you can have like a bit of filtering on what you want to do. But basically, mainly that's it. For example, you can also filter by status. And in this example, I'm showing you that you can have multiple properties that have the same status of educate. Again, this is a status taken straight from Airbnb. But this time on the educate status level, we have 5 properties. So the data is aggregated on the 5 properties as a combination or an average over the whole. And then here on the category trends, you can also filter on a date range. For example, eventually when a year has passed, you don't want to look into the whole year. You want to look into only January. Maybe for a specific season or a specific holiday, you want to dig deeper into what happened in this time range. This will give you a more accurate view. And you can see here the involvement of your 5-star review, as well as the involvement of the tags. For example, accuracy. And when you hover on the line, you will see the exact rate or number that it was. So here there was a filter, for example, on reviews less than 3 stars. So nothing was appearing. But when we removed the filter, we saw that all the reviews had 4 star and more. Again, taking the same example, you can see here a private review. Sometimes users send a private review, and that's usually tending to help you without actually hurting the review. You can export the review. That's something that I wanted to say, that at the end of the day, there's an export functionality that helps you export all your reviews, and you will get it on your email on a CSV file. You can filter here, as you see, on a property level, on any property you want.
Thank you so much, Samia. I think it is very clear what all the advantages are of the quality dashboard and how you can directly check all the KPIs and the metrics over time. I think the overtime feature is the most important because you will be then able to track progress and see where you have ups and downs and try to analyze them to be also to solve and improve over time. So let me go very, very quickly. I see directly a question from Kim David asking, is it also possible to answer inquiries with the dashboard? So are you able already, I guess, to answer reviews directly from the dashboard, or it's not possible, Samia?
No, it's not possible because it's not directly linked to Airbnb. Again, we're still separate from Airbnb as a portal for now.
Is asking what means the element or WOW. It means week over week, right, Samia?
Yes, it means week over week. So you can see the trend of your rating, how it evolved from last week till today.
Exactly. So you can see it's a comparison directly with the week before.
Maybe also one thing to note that I missed saying, for example, the colors. I remember on the overall quality, they were color red, green, and orange. So you can see here the check-in, for example, has a green color versus the location has a red color. We have green, orange, and red, and these colors come directly from Airbnb. So they were the ones who told us that if, for example, it's 4.8 and above, it's good, means it's green. If it's 4.5, it's already red and flagged bad. So even a 4.5 score is now something that should be improved. I just wanted to insist on this because the colors are not just design, it's actually metrics from Airbnb.
Yeah, fair enough. I think it's a very important point that you just mentioned, that within the Airbnb system, anything below 4.8 is already something that you should improve right now. This is very, very important because one may think, oh, 4.7, it's already great. But for the algorithm, it's already a negative. So you will rank not that high. And for Airbnb, this is like a preoccupation. So we need to be very, very careful. Hence the color scheme. So 4.8 to 5 is green, and then orange is below 4.8 until?
I don't have exactly the number right now memorized, but
I think
can
it's
look into
4.6,
this.
no? I think from 4.6 and below, it's red already.
If you give me a second, I will check. And by the end of the webinar, I can let you know.
Yeah, let's do that. I see also somebody saying that in the review, I see some that have been deleted. Is that normal? So maybe two things. Maybe it could be your filter. Check the filters. Check if it's within the date range. And otherwise, I would advise to send a ticket if there is some reviews that are not present, right? Samia, what do you think?
So do they mean here deleted from the Airbnb dashboard? Sometimes a review can be hidden, and that comes directly from Airbnb. It's probably that Airbnb has hid your review for some reason, that maybe the host did not review again the guest, or the guest did not review the host. For some reason, Airbnb has hid the review. This is not from us. It can sometimes happen, but it would be from Airbnb direct.
Okay, I see. And Blue Educate, how would you describe that, Samia?
So educate is also coming from Airbnb. It means that you have to improve, as simple as that. Not really something that's really bad or something that's really good. I would say it's an average and average.
Something to keep an eye on, right?
Exactly.
Very nice. I see somebody asking for booking.com. So booking.com does not give us such a detailed view and such a detailed KPIs ready to use. All of this is possible because also Airbnb gives us the tool to give you that information. So props to them for that. But obviously, whenever we can build that with booking.com, we will also try to implement such a dashboard for your booking.com business. That's also a priority for us. I can see just the last 3 months as the date filter. Is that correct, Samia?
Yes, it is correct. And that's totally normal because we have launched the Airbnb quality dashboard, I think, towards January, something like that. So the last 3 months. Before that, we simply did not have the feature, and we start collecting data in our system from the day that we actually launched the feature.
Correct, because all the historical data is not all nice and clean. And so we need to start collecting them. So we started collecting this data from January. So the feature will self-improve, let's say, with more data and more time.
Exactly. Like right now, for example, the category trend looks very short, and probably it's a bit meaningless to filter on a date range. But as I said, from now till a year or a couple of months even, you would probably use more the date range because you will have so many data that you want to just filter on one specific time frame.
Correct.
And one thing to note, starting next year, so when we have already collected 1 year worth of data, so starting next January, we will be adding more metrics, which is year over year and even quarter over quarter, so we can give more visibility on how you improved or not improved from a year to year or a quarter to quarter. So you can also check your performance based on seasonality, because I think that this is very important. In the travel industry, a lot of performance depend on the tourism time and tourism day to get more reviews when it's towards, let's say, the summer or Christmas, so that it actually makes more sense to look at it that way as well. We will be eventually adding more graphs as we move forward with time, and the more we improve. For now, this is the first phase of our quality dashboard, and we hope we can improve it furthermore.
Yeah, nicely said, nicely said, and I can't agree more. We have a Kamran asking, where can we find the dashboard within the Smoobu platform? Can you guide us?
Yes, so from the navigation menu, you can see the tab called Analytics. And when you click Analytics, you have the quality dashboard that appears as a second tab directly. You will see it from the screen. So the first entry points is on the Analytics view.
And once again, you need to be connected to Airbnb to see that. I mean, it seems
Yes.
obviously, but you need to have at least one listing connected with Airbnb for us to show you that page.
And I see that we have one comment regarding Dutch translations. Yes, we can review the translations. I will make note of that and ask someone from Smoobu who speaks local Dutch to help me improve a bit the translation.
I think I mean, I see some people asking, why is Airbnb drastically lower in terms of bookings? And I mean, that Sonia she's asking, we see drastically lower Airbnb bookings in Spain, even though our rates are green and good. Some explanation. Really hard to say. Obviously, it could be competition. It could be lower demand on Airbnb. It could be that other platforms are more performing. It's multiple things. I think the goal with the quality dashboard is really to make sure that you understand your business and what you actually can control, right? Like you cannot control if Airbnb will be bringing more bookings in general in your market or not. But what you can control is make sure that whenever there is a booking, you give a 5-star experience to your guests, you get a 5-star review, and that you get the best out of the platform. Obviously, it's all about what you can control and act on this with data. Yeah, Miguel is saying it does 50-50 Airbnb booking. So yeah, it's all very dependent, and it really depends on many factors. So obviously try to focus on what you can, check in the cleanliness, the communication, etc., and things will get generally better. I think that's about it for the questions. I'm just checking very quickly. And yeah, I think that's about it. So again, you can find it under analytics. The second tab will be your quality dashboard. I encourage you to try it. You should see a button. If you're on mobile, I don't know where the button could be, but you can access your quality dashboard right from that button. Please try it. I think it would be super nice to get more feedback from users. Tell us your success stories with the quality dashboard. Tell us what's wrong. Tell us what's good, so that we can also improve. But yeah, thanks a lot for coming. Thanks a lot, Samia, for joining us today.
Thank you, Nicola.
I wish you a very great day. And again, if you have any question, you can send them at support@smoobu.com or any channel you like, and also open a ticket from your platform. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you thought about today. And I wish you a pleasant evening.